How's it going, everybody? My name is Release Radar, and in today's video, I used virtual reality as my only gaming experience for a week. I want to talk about my thoughts and whether or not I recommend VR in the year 2023. So let's get into it. Before we get into the rest of the video, I just want to let you guys know that I started a podcast with some friends. If you're interested in checking it out, it'll be in the pinned comment in the description and also in my featured channel section. We would appreciate it if you gave us a listen, and let's get into the video. So I just took a shower, got back from the gym. I'm ready to play some games. I have all of this sitting right here, and unfortunately, I have to keep the computer up and running for college, but if I'm going to play some games, I can't play them in there. I'm going to be using this for pretty much the whole week. So we're gonna see how this goes, because I like VR, but only playing VR for a whole week is going to be interesting. So as we can see right here, this is my entire Steam library, just scrolling through all of this. This is quite a bit of games, right? I've got quite a few. And then up here is my VR collection. So, I mean, that all fits on the screen at once. So there's the VR games, and then here is all the non-VR games. So there's quite a bit more non-VR games in my library. So my game selection's about to get very limited just by playing VR exclusively for the week. For those of you wondering what my VR setup is, I use an HTC Vive with a Pro Audio strap. I have the cables routed to the ceiling, base station right there, base station right there. I use the Valve Knuckle controllers, but I actually have the original controllers for the HTC Vive back here as backups. So if those die, I can still play. And then I run it all off of my laptop, which has the specs you see on screen. So one of the first things that I played this week on VR was the HalfLife 2 VR mod. And if you don't know what that is, well, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's HalfLife 2 in VR. And it is so much fun. Like, there's individual reload animations that you as the player have to do for every single weapon. So you have to grab the ammo from over your shoulder, put it in the gun, and then chamber the round like you would in real life, right? You would have to get the ammo, put the clip in the magazine well or whatever, chamber around. I know I probably just triggered some gun enthusiasts by that sentence, but that's besides the point. Like, my point is, it's a lot of fun and it is insanely immersive. And if you have a VR headset, if you love Half-Life 2, you got to try this. It is so much fun. But I've played almost through the entire game this week. I'm almost done with it. And it's been an incredible time. So I'm just going to show you guys some gameplay of that real quick, and then we'll move on to the next game.
Are we good? Is that all? Oh, there's definitely more of them. Okay. It's fine, guys. I'll push up. Don't worry. See, now I could use that health. Hey. Sweet. Oh. Oh, this is not good. That's the thing. Sometimes it takes you a second to, like, understand what's happening around you in VR.
Take this med kit. Another game that I really enjoyed my time with this week was Hard Bullet. And if you haven't heard about that game, it's basically like Blade and Sorcery, which is like the game that's like an arena. A bunch of people come out and try to fight you with swords. It's basically that, but with guns instead of swords. So you can choose what weapons you want, run around in the arena and kill just waves of enemies, just like you can in Blade and Sorcery. But instead of knives and swords and magic, you get guns. So it's pretty fun. So I'm just going to show you some gameplay of that now.
YouTube might not like this, and I do want to monetize this video. So we'll see how much of this I think I can show. Oh, we already got a man right there. See, you just got to stop. What? I missed? I gotta remember, I can slow down time, which is a new thing for me in this game. You know, I'm gonna pick up the weapon of everybody that I take. Okay, never mind. Give me this before that goes away. Okay. Okay, that's the slow down time button. Got it. There's no way, right? You think I can get a kill with this? I can barely. Okay, no, we'll use the pipe wrench. Oh my god, that's gonna be gruesome. Oh, there you are. Okay, I hit him once. Trying to slow down time. Oh, I got him? I guess I got him. No, you Okay. I want to challenge myself to kill them with whatever gun that they're using against me. So I kill one, and then I pick up their gun, and then I use that. That's the challenge.
So unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to show you guys that much hard bullet because the game's too gruesome and YouTube's new policy guidelines. Like I don't know what of that I can and can't show. So I'm not going to risk playing that much of that game because it's like realistic gore. I don't know. I just don't want to risk it. So I filmed the first part of this video on Wednesday and it's now Sunday. So I spent the full week playing VR, and the last game that I really sunk my time into was Skyrim VR. I absolutely adore Skyrim. I've been playing it modded on my PC with over like 1,000 mods. The game is awesome, and playing it in VR, even though the VR port isn't that good of a VR game, Skyrim is still just a good game, if that makes sense. So there's a lot of functionality in VR that isn't there that I wish was for like a VR title, but as a game, Skyrim is awesome, and just being able to experience it in VR is something that you have to do at least once if you love Skyrim like I do. So the game in VR, while it is a little clunky and doesn't flow as well as I wish it did, it is still so much fun to play. And so with a combination of Skyrim VR, a little bit of Minecraft VR, I didn't get any footage of that though. I tried to, but my files corrupted, so I was a little mad about that. But Skyrim VR, Hard Bullet, HalfLife 2 VR mod, and Minecraft VR are basically all I played this week, and it was a lot of fun. I think VR is totally worth it. So before I give you guys my final thoughts, I just want to show you a little bit of footage of Skyrim VR.
What is that noise? I just heard something behind me. Okay, I nailed him first shot, and then the second shot was way off. Oops. Can I get that arrow back? I cannot. How am I doing on arrows? I have no idea. Oh, okay, I just watched that materialize. That's cool. I kind of wish the draw distance was a little better. What's up, buddy? Oh, I don't know if I'm going to hit that follow-up shot. Okay, I got him. All right, let's clear out this fort. Ow. How are these missing? Am I aiming too high? There we go. It's so weird trying to aim in VR. I'm still getting used to this. Oh. Where did that come from? Something else just shot at me. I don't know what it was. Oh, it's up here. You can just kind of like lob arrows as fast as you can shoot. So let me get close to this guy, and then you can just do that. It's really funny.
So now I want to talk about the things that I really enjoyed about playing VR for the past week, and just what I enjoy about the VR medium overall when it comes to gaming. And that is, immersion is just unmatched in VR. When you are in a firefight in VR, you feel like you're there. And I know that sounds like cheesy or corny, but there's no way to really explain it unless you've like experienced VR. You know what I'm talking about, right? Like, it gets intense. And like some games, there's not a crouch button. So if you want to crouch, you have to physically move down. And if you need to jump over something, you have to jump over something, right? And reloading, when reloading in games are handled manually, like in HalfLife 2 VR mod and not Hitman VR, like if you want to reload your gun, you have to reload your gun. And there is a sense of error. Like, you might miss. You might accidentally drop your mag. You know, on PC, when you need to reload, you press R. On Xbox, when you need to reload, you know, you press X, and your character automatically executes the reload every single time without messing up ever. But in VR, you might make a mistake and you might miss putting your magazine in the magazine well in your gun. And you might drop your magazine. You might accidentally, in a game where you have to like hold the gun like Hard Bullet, you might accidentally drop your gun in the middle of a firefight. That kind of thing does not happen in Call of Duty or Battlefield or Halo, you know, any of those flat screen games. So VR is just incredibly immersive. And it's also, if you play a game like Beat Saber or Pistol Whip, it's a decent workout. Like, I have burnt calories playing in VR, and I actually make an effort to, on the days where I don't work out, I play VR for an hour and a half on those days, and I play Beat Saber and Half-Life 2 VR mod, Minecraft VR. I just keep myself moving. So if you like to game and you're looking to lose weight, like my dad has a coworker who lost like 45 pounds by eating healthy and playing Beat Saber every day. So it is possible if you want to use it as a weight loss guide, and a weight loss, not guide, but like helper, right? So it can keep you active and it can keep you moving around. And so the only problem is, and I'll get to the negatives in a second, it's just there's not a huge game library in VR, which is annoying. But on those games like Skyrim VR, the immersion while crawling through dungeons and looting and being attacked by dragons in VR is just incredible. And it's just an experience you can't get from flat screen gaming. And, I have a backup set of controllers, but I didn't ever play VR for longer than like 4 hours, 5 hours. So my controllers never died. And as long as you charge them after every use, you never have to worry about your controllers running out of battery. Now, I will say having like a cable attached to your head, either on the ceiling, or if you don't have the ceiling mount, it'll just be behind you on the floor. That gets a little annoying. I had to get the ceiling mounts for my VR headset because my dog would sit sometimes on the cable, and I would try to like step forward and I would get caught because my dog's sitting on the cable. So I had to run it on the ceiling to keep that from happening because that got very annoying. But you can still get tangled up, and that is immersion breaking, right? I really wish we had true wireless VR. And while the Quest 2 does offer that, it's not as powerful as just plugging your Quest 2 into the computer and using the Quest Link for a full PC VR experience. So that is very unfortunate. So I think the negatives are, you can't get full immersion movement because you have a cord attached to your head at all times, right? And controllers can die if you forget to charge them. The battery will run out pretty fast if you play pretty regularly. So that is also a pretty big downside. And then the game selection. There's just not that many games to play in VR, which is very disappointing. But I think if you are a gaming enthusiast, you should definitely try to give VR a shot. I have so much fun with it, but I had a problem where when I first bought my headset, I kind of just like kept it in the closet, and I would take it out occasionally to like show family and show friends, and I didn't have it set up all the time. And when I didn't have it set up all the time, I just never used it because it was a process I had these like stands that I would screw the base stations on. Like it was a whole process just to get VR up and running. But now in my living room at all times, I have my laptop sitting on that folding chair with all of the VR cables plugged into it. So whenever I want to play VR, I can just play VR. And, I don't understand what's going on with my laptop. It has a 3080, 32 gigs of RAM and a decent Intel mobile CPU. Now, it is a mobile 3080, but it can't run Skyrim VR with mods or Fallout 4 VR with mods. So I'm tempted to maybe do like a live stream or something, building a PC to run some VR on, because, I sold my streaming PC because I never used it. So I have some cash that I can throw out a new build if I want to. So I'm considering maybe doing like a small form factor VR PC build. So if I do, I'll make a community post about it before doing so you guys, can make sure not to miss that vid. But, I think VR, I've said, a lot this take, good Lord. But, I think VR is a lot of fun. I definitely think it's worth it if you are a gaming enthusiast, and you don't even have to drop like $1,000 on an HTC, or not an HTC, a Valve Index, or $500 on PlayStation VR. I found my headset used on Facebook Marketplace. And if you want to know how to be safe with buying and selling used stuff on Facebook Marketplace, I just did a video about that last week. So you should definitely check that out. But with all this out of the way, if you are a hardcore gamer and you really want to get more immersed into games, and you already have a pretty defined Steam library, because some games just have VR support and you don't even have to buy another game like No Man's Sky or the original Forest game. Those both just have VR support. So if you're interested in being more immersed and moving around and playing games like that, or even if you like to play racing games, and you want to maybe play Star Wars Squadrons, that has VR support. And I haven't tried that in VR, but holy crap, I bet that's amazing. Like flying around in squadrons with the headset strapped to your face, sitting in your chair with like the joysticks to like fly TIE fighters and stuff. I bet that is such a cool experience. And you can even do some racing games in VR too, like with a race wheel. I bet that's also really freaking cool. So there are some cool experiences you can have in VR, but VR is just, it's not where it should be. The technology's there. The development's just not, and it really bothers me. And I think the metaverse has put like the stigma on what VR is and what VR can be and how VR is stupid. And VR is not stupid. It's a lot of fun to game in, but the metaverse has just created this connotation of like working in VR and going to the metaverse. Like nobody goes to the metaverse. The closest thing we have to the metaverse is VR chat, because people actually use VR chat. Nobody plays the metaverse. So it's wild to me. But my final thoughts are VR is absolutely worth your time if you are a gaming enthusiast. I think it's so much fun. And being able to play games like HalfLife in VR, I would go crazy if anybody made a Halo Combat Evolved VR mod. That would be just an absolute dream come true. Being able to play Halo in VR, I would love that. but unfortunately it doesn't exist. There's one video on YouTube, which I will link in the description if you're interested, where somebody made like a Halo VR concept, and it just looks like it would be so much fun to play. But unfortunately, it doesn't exist. So let me know down below if you guys have a VR headset. If you don't and you want one, which one do you want? Or do you not like VR? Are you not interested? Let me know down below. Be sure to check out the Joystick Junkies podcast that I started with some friends. And as always, like and favorite the video if you enjoyed. Subscribe for more content. My name is Release Radar, and I will catch you guys in the next video of whatever I make. Peace.